Hello girls and welcome to Tuesday. Today the retrograde is gone. So today Mercury is going to lift and we know that Mercury is still going to be in Leo, so you will still be feeling a little bit of a pull. But then we are staying with Uranus in retrograde all the way till January 2nd, which means it's going to pull us to the opposite of Mercury. It's going to be all calming energy and soothing energy. As calming energy and soothing energy is amazing, we have to make sure that we don't fall into a procrastinating pattern when Uranus is in retrograde, because Uranus is always reminding us, you know, take it easy, don't go crazy, take your time. So what may happen is if you don't keep your balance, you will find yourself leaving things for the next day and the next day and the next day and so on. So Rita, I sent you your tracking number yesterday. Your package went out today and I think it should be there Friday. I think it was a 3-day one, so it should be there Friday, no later than Saturday. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be talking about rune/tarot, how to incorporate your tarot into your rune reading. There's different ways of doing it, so I'm going to show you those. And so we're going to be pulling out our runes as our tarot. The tarot that I'm using is a simple one, which is the Rider-Waite, the Radiant Edition. And the reason why I chose Rider-Waite is because it's basically that most common deck of them all. So I didn't want to use an indie deck for this, only because we just kind of wanted, you know, just to show it how it works, to show us how it works. So there I go, shuffling the cards, automatic thinking, like, oh, I have cards, I'm going to do a reading. And then today I'm going to be using the Lapis Lazuli's runes. I think the last time I used the bone runes. I don't have a mat because I'm just kind of teaching it, but make sure when you guys do it, you guys have your cloth or your mat or a sweater or a silk piece or a mandala, whatever it is, just to kind of for it to help absorb the energy to your reading. Today I don't have one because it's not really a reading. So we're going to be doing an example reading with the runes. A question that I get asked a lot is, because there's not so many runes, if you could actually do a whole rune reading. Yeah, you can actually shuffle or, you know, move around your runes in order to get your energy to them. And you could actually do a whole rune reading with different layouts. You could even try to do a Celtic cross rune reading. I've done those before. I have a client in Romania, I think, yeah, Romania, and she is what you would call a gypsy witch, 100% gypsy witch, and she does readings, she does spells, she does all of this stuff, but she can never read her own runes, she can never read her own cards. For her, I always do the Celtic cross rune reading. And I know that's a mixture of tarot and runes, but we only do it with runes, and she loves it, and she usually gets it about once a month. So let's go ahead and get started so I can show you different ways. So like I said, I don't have a mat, and then I also have some oracle here. So I can show you how to also enhance with the oracle itself. So let's say we're getting started. So here's way one to incorporate your cards, right? So let's say we've shuffled them already. So we're going to be pulling out so we're going to be doing 5. So we're going to put 3 over here, and then we're going to be putting 2 on the other side. So we'll start with the runes first. You can, if you want to, add the tarot right away. I don't like to, only because I like to focus on one energy at a time. But yes, it can be done. So you can actually lay out all of your layout prior to the reading. And first we have the Jera, which is known kind of like J or Yeah, which is a year, a good harvest. So basically this is like harvesting your hard work. Your hard work is paying off kind of message. When we see the next rune, and we know that little famous R, which is one of the actually most famous runes, Viking letters that there is. Where did it go? There it is. So the first one was this one, which is, you know, reaping what you sow. It's a very good card, actually. We were doing a reading because we know that Samhain is coming and autumn is coming, and that is usually the harvest period. Mabon is coming too on the 21st, which is all about that harvesting. So when we take a look at the next one next to it, we have that Rado, and it's about travel, both in physical terms and lifestyle direction. So this person is beginning to reap what they sow and gain their harvest, but they're also almost in a transformation, traveling. You know, it's almost like their inner journey. They're either changing their place or their setting, or they're planning to change that, a big life change ahead for them. So when we take a look at the next one, and I'm so used to doing these kind of little classes by reading the runes instead of just jumping to the example, because I just feel that it's important to give the example as if we were doing a reading. That way it's not just like, okay, well, here you have this one and then we're going to take this one, you know what I mean? So then we have the Othala, and Othala is the ancestral property. So it's, you know, kind of very linked to ancestor magic, ancestor gifts, basically. So if we're seeing this together, it's this person has inherited their gift, or maybe some kind of inheritance, but mostly because we see these two, this is pointing more at a gift, the ancestral gift. So it's asking them to connect more with their ancestors, or even do some kind of DNA test or some kind of family tree to see where, you know, if it's Celtic, if it's Gypsy, if it's, you know, whatever it is. So we see this, it's kind of putting their journey together, and you know, good things are headed their way. So when we have those, then we're going to move on to the next line, right? Because we're done with those. So what we're going to do with the next line is we're going to continue to tell them the meaning. So when we have, sorry, my cat is trying to climb the table. When we have the next rune, what we have here, it's not showing. Okay, there it is. What we have, the rune here is Lagis, which is the water, and it's the flow, the water, the sea, the fertility source, the healing power of the renewal. So they're either going through a healing transformation, or this person, I mean, you can put these together, the ancestor, it's inherited, and then we see them as healers. So this is some kind of shamanic energy going on here. If they're very close to the water element. If they're not, then you would guide them to start working with water elements in their rituals, collecting rainwater, collecting river water, ocean water in a little vial, and having it in their altar for when they do rituals, because right now it all shows how, you know, connected they are to that particular water element. So then you would guide them to that and maybe help them with a ritual of some sort, which is what I do for my clients. It all depends how open they are to trying it, or if they want you to do it for them, because remember, not everybody who you read for is open to try rituals and things like that. A lot of my clients are very religious, so I tend to work with them or do it for them. It all depends the kind of ritual, because as we know, we can't really do a lot if it has something to do that's pinpointed exactly to their energy. That's when you have to guide them slowly in order for it to work. So when we take a look at the next one, we have Hefehu, which is the domestic, it's the wealth, and it's, you know, kind of like about their possession, their hard work, as we see the harvest. So their hard work, their possessions, everything seems to be protected. Their luck, their income, their abundance, their financial strength, but it's also having them not focus so much on the, you know, material things. It's also guiding them to as well focus on the abundance of life itself. So this person is doing quite well for themselves, but they need to actually also focus on the other energies around them. So making sure that they don't only focus on what can they have, what can they make. They could also focus, you know, on their gifts. So they need to have a little bit more balance when we take a look at that one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add, this is slippery. We're going to add some tarot. So now let's say we did the rune. So we're going to follow it up with tarot, and because we have 5 runes, we're going to follow it with 5 tarot cards. So we're going to put 3 over here. Then we're going to put 2 over here, kind of leaving a space in between to kind of respect the same ordeal that we have going on the top. The first one, we know that the Fool is, you know, them being guided by their own energy, is extreme happiness, a lot of change, a lot of travel, but it's still their innocence. So the Fool is actually a very positive card, even though we often see the Fool as the person being blind. In this case, it's not, because it is not reversed, it is right side up. So this is them allowing themselves to follow their own energy. So as you can see, it's almost like it's telling a story, their energy, their transformation, making sure they're not too obsessed with gaining. We know we have this last one that's almost representing the Pentacles, and you'll see how these will connect as we continue. So this person is actually allowing themselves to lower their expectations and actually follow their energy. It also shows some kind of change. So as you can see, you have the transformation and you have the change. So you see how they start kind of linking. Remember, they're not going to link in order. So make sure that you do show, and you, as you give yourself a reading, you're going to actually see how they link. Remember, tarot runes and things like that, you can never just go in order. They will answer or kind of link to each other as they please. So we can't literally be like, okay, the Fool goes with this first one. No, we're just respecting the layout. And when we take a look at the next card that they have, is that King of Wands. So basically, when we're seeing the King of Wands and it is right there next to the Fool, we're going to read them together instead of one by one. So the King of Wands is always influence, you know, outside influences, following their instincts. So as you can see, they already go together. They're allowing to follow their own energy, and this person has a lot of innocence to them. Now the King of Wands is kind of pushing them to follow their own instincts. So you see how they go together hand in hand. So it's almost like the ancestor rune here, because it's almost like they already know what to do. So some kind of claircognizant gift going on, because even though they don't know why they know it. So we know that's part of the psychic clairs, the claircognizant, which is the gift of clear knowing, of knowing, even though you don't know why you know. So as you can see, they start linking. So then when we go to the next one, which is that reverse 7 of Pentacles. What we're seeing with this one is going to probably link with the that material card. The 7 of Pentacles is somehow in their life somewhere right now. They are being very stubborn. They are being very inflexible, and they're actually starting to begin to doubt themselves. So as you can see, we start with a very good and very balanced energy. Then we get to now, and there's that self-doubt in the background. So it probably hasn't affected them yet, because as you can see, this is the stronger energy. This is more linking to something that's lingering in the background, right? So it's all about almost like they're acting stubborn. So that self-doubt, it may be peeking in, and then it may actually turn this Fool reverse if they don't do anything about it. So what would you tell the person to do? Obviously, you're going to tell them to meditate, cleanse their energy, cleanse their space. Basically, anything, any cleansing, any release, anything that they may be holding on to. It may not be a lot, because as you can see, it's beginning, but you're going to tell them to go ahead and do a release ritual in order for things not to start getting overwhelming for them. Now, when we go to the next one, we have that Queen of Wands. So when we see the Queen of Wands, what we're seeing is basically positivity, growth, expectation, and following their intuition. So it's all about their intuition, once again guiding them to that ancestor card, and it's all about that energy. So you see, as long as they release here, this is probably some kind of new situation that they have to release, or the situation hasn't happened yet. They will know when they give you the feedback. If the situation hasn't happened yet, then you are going to tell them to be very observant. And if is anything that shakes their soul a little bit, they need to do a release ritual right away. By doing the release ritual right away, then they're going to be able to move on to the stronger intuition, to the stronger growth of their journey. So you see growth, and we see radio that's talking about their transformation. Sorry. So then when we see the next one, we have the reverse Queen of Cups. So when we see the reverse Queen of Cups is right now, as you can see, we have two outcomes. If they're able to release, we have growth, we have stronger intuition, we have stronger sense of self, and stronger trust. If they're not able to release, and this is something that maybe they're holding on unconsciously from a past life, then we're getting a little trouble, because now we have the reverse Queen of Cups, and we all know that the reverse Queen of Cups has a lot to do with somebody being unfaithful, but not so much in this reading, because we're not doing a romance reading. This is more of a general reading, so it's more about them being unfaithful to their own energy. So basically not standing up for themselves, putting their gifts as coincidences and not a gift itself, not respecting the craft, not respecting their own energy, being drained, being around draining people, and so on. So what is going to happen is they're going to start holding grudges. So we start holding grudges, then we go back here and we get that reverse Fool. So as you can see, when you're it's almost like having a conversation with the cards. So not only are we working together with these, but then we're working together with the bottom. So as you can see, they enhance the situation at the top. Then tarot will actually give you a more in-depth look into it, right? Like I said, if you girls want, I could recommend you guys to get a rune reading that's actually based on your energy, so you guys could actually see how it works. Obviously, it's way longer than this, because this is just, you know, an example. I'm not tuning into anybody's energy. I never say, you know, I'm just here giving an example. So now let's say we want to use some oracle to enhance the messages. So we're going to turn these the right way up, because I don't like to do these reverse. And we start with the cycle. So cycle is transformation. So they are exactly where they need to be at the moment, but they have to make sure that they are very aware of their feelings, and that they're very aware. Basically, balance is the balance is the key. Awareness is the key. Being very observant. The next one is deceit. So as you can see, deceit is going with the reverse Queen of Cups. So when we have deceit, what this is now, you see how this one was pointing that if they don't release, they're going to end up with grudges. But now with the deceit card, it seems that the outside energies that are draining may be someone actually close to this person. So you see how when you put them all together, instead of reading them one by one, you start just getting a lot of information. So we see the reverse Queen of Cups. So now we may see as a warning card, there is somebody, or maybe somebody around this person, who is wearing a mask. So who is pretending to be someone that they're not. Like I said, this could be a psychic attack, it could be some kind of jealousy, it could be pure hate, it could be someone that really they don't like and they don't like them back. So we see that they have to kind of be careful. So this comes out as a warning card. The next one we have is labor, which is linked to that first rune, which is your hard work will pay off, but you need to keep this person in track. As you see, they have the Fool, and the Fool is a great card, but if they're getting too comfortable or if they're getting too cocky, the labor may be a warning as well. They cannot get too cocky. Remember, they're very with this last rune, very into economical and blah, 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 what is there for them. And they still have a balance, but it only takes a shift in the energy to turn them completely, what is that word? Not selfish, materialistic, basically. So this is kind of like a warning as well. Your hard work is paying off, but you need to continue doing that hard work. You can't just sit back and be like, oh yeah, I'm so good, you know, I'm just gonna call into work, or whatever work it may be, whether it's self-work, emotional work, spiritual work. This person is kind of like riding a thin line. When we take a look at the next one, is permanent, so nothing stays forever, and this is kind of showing that this person needs to understand that nothing is there forever. So it may be good right now, but if this person doesn't keep their balance, as we see that now that we got a lot of cards showing up, kind of warning, saying, hey dude, you know, hey person, slow down. You know, nothing is forever. So this person needs to kind of, you know, just understand and just kind of pull themselves back to the humble size. When we get the last card, we have message. So you know how this card was saying, stay observant, be very observant of the things around you. This is because they're actually starting to receive some kind of message from their spirit guides, from nature, or even it may mean, if we're seeing it from people, this message card, then it's going to be linking that they're going to be receiving some kind of information. So some kind of answer that they've been waiting for is going to be revealed, whether it's the person is going to come out and tell them the truth, or whether they're going to be receiving it in different information, whether it's dreams, whether it's synchronicity. So as you can see, you can add tarot and you can add oracle. Runes themselves will speak nice and clear all on their own. So adding tarot and adding oracle, I only do that. I will always do a rune reading, and I will have the decks that I work with those runes and for the person. And usually I have, I mean, crap, my husband counted them and I have like 213 decks. But you know what? It's been since 1996 since I've been getting decks. But yes, especially with my old clients, I already know what tarot works for them. So there are cards, there are decks in that collection that I only use for one person. And that may be more than one deck. The more that I work with a person, the more personal that we get. So the more personal that I can get with what I use with them, unless they ask me, let's go ahead and try this one. Because I make sure that if they're clients for years, I will educate them on the different decks. So you know, they become knowledgeable. It's not like they just keep coming to you not really knowing, you know, use whatever. I always give them that option if it's available. But the thing is that when you do a rune reading, it's up to you and your energy at the moment if you want to add tarot. Don't ever go into a rune reading planning that I'm going to add tarot unless it is a rune/tarot reading. That way your energy is already knowing that you're working with runes and you're working with tarot and you're working with oracle. If you go into a reading and you get centered but only to use runes, your tarot may be null. So your tarot may not even talk because you didn't prepare yourself to deal with that kind of energy. So I do recommend to add some tarot, add some oracle. If you don't want to add tarot and only oracle, do it like that as well. You don't have to do runes, tarot, and oracle. You could do runes and tarot, runes and oracle, whatever it is that you want to do. Rune and Lenormand, rune and fortune telling cards. There's a lot of mixture that you can do with runes themselves. So you could actually do runes and bone readings. You could actually add runes to tea readings, rune to wax readings. Runes are so open with energy that you could basically do whatever reading you want. I don't know about runes and palmistry, but there might be. I could search through my books and talk to my grandmother. And that would probably be something that's done very, very long time ago. So basically this week's exercise, I want you girls to give each other a rune/tarot or rune/oracle or rune/tarot/oracle, whatever you choose, just so you can see how your runes will still say it as it is. So it's like talking to that friend that will not sugarcoat, which is what my friends say that I do. With my friends, people that are extremely comfortable, which I don't have that many because I try to keep my circle really, really small because I just don't want to deal with so many people. But basically, I thought that was somebody knocking, but it's my cat following the fly. Basically, with my really, really, really close friends, I will say it as it is. If they're complaining to me about something and I know they shouldn't be, I am that friend that will tell you, you know, if you want to get hugs and kisses, you go find the person that's going to sugarcoat things. I am a very to the point, and thankfully they know this, and you know, that's what most of them say, that they like to tell me things and they're prepared because they know that usually they're going to receive a beat down, but there is some wisdom behind it. Not that I shut them out, not that I tell them that they're wrong, but usually I tend to sense what they're trying to say, and I will say, you know, if this is the underlying thing and you're still over here, then don't, be quiet. So that is what the runes are. That kind of friend that you love, but sometimes you wish that friend gave you a hug. And if you want to soften that, then go ahead and use oracle, not tarot. If you're working with someone who you know may not be able to handle the truth in their face, then what you're going to do is use runes and oracle. You're not going to use tarot at all. If you have a friend that wants you to get to the point, or a client or yourself or between both of you, and this person wants you to say it as it is and give them a little more insight, then you go with Rune and Tarot and Oracle as well. But to sugarcoat runes, you need Oracle, and you need to get like an angel oracle, what I call the baby oracles. The baby oracles are the ones that sugarcoat everything, and you can be going through this overwhelming feeling, but everything's going to be okay. So you need probably an angel-based oracle with angel energy, not baby oracles. That's what I call them, but it's more an uplifting kind of oracle. You never ever want to give someone who you know is very sensitive a rune reading with tarot, because this could wreak some havoc for them, and we don't want to do that for people. That's why when people come to me to the shop and they buy a rune reading, I always say, you know, don't tell me anything about the situation. That's what people get amazed with me, because I don't want to know. I don't want to know that you're having problems in the relationship. I don't want to know. I want you to tell me the energy you want the runes to be. Is it for love and romance? Is it for guidance? Is it to communicate with a spirit guide? Is it a mediumship runes? Because you can also communicate with passed on energy with runes. We're not going to go into that yet. But you can use them for a lot of things. So this is what I will ask my clients always. What kind of, where do you want to go with this? Do you want energy, guidance? Do you want love? Do you want romance? They'll say, let's say I want guidance. Okay. Do you want it straightforward as it is, or would you like some inspirational behind it? That's how you know. That's your key thing, your code, basically. If they come back and they tell you they would like some inspirational guidance at the end, you know this person will not. You will not do Rune and Tarot. You know this person needs some runes and some angel cards, or, you know, inspirational oracle. If this person just says, you know, just give it to me as it is, please don't tell me everything's gonna be okay if you see that it's falling apart. If this person's like that, but I mean, they literally say that, and I have about 7 clients. One of my neighbors is included in this, and my no sugarcoat reading, we have done this with runes, right? And she literally calls it, and I have a few people that call them that. She's the one that I make this special blend called the no bullshit candle, and the no bullshit thing. She has like a whole collection, and I know it's a rough word, but this is exactly what she calls it. We have this reading that I created for her, which is called the no bullshit rune reading. And when you have someone that wants the no bullshit reading, I actually have a special deck. It's the Rebel deck, which literally speaks as it is. This deck will have cuss words. This deck will tell you, hey, you are wrong, change your crap. Then I will also use Lenormand or fortune telling, only because they're allowing me to lift that thing, that softness. So if you have someone that literally says, don't BS me, give it to me as it is, I am ready, then you're going to up your game. You're not going to use tarot, you're going to go for Lenormand fortune telling, something that speaks very, very rough with them. You are not trying to insult the person, because we're still keeping it zen, we're still keeping it calm, but if the person, that's what they want, then you need to up your cards as well. So tarot is for, this is how it is. Now, if you want all the BS to be out of the way, and for the cards to say, for example, you know, you're suffering, but you're doing it to yourself, get a grip, that's when you're gonna not go for tarot, you're gonna go for Lenormand fortune telling cards. Or, I mean, you guys could look into the Rebel deck. It's privately made, and it does have a lot of cuss words. That's why you'll see that I will not use this deck in the card of the day. And I actually got this deck, that particular deck, for my 7 clients that literally come, it all depends, sometimes every 2 weeks, sometimes a month, and they will ask for the no BS reading when it comes to everything, relationship, life, everything. So that is an option. So with each other, I want you to talk to each other and come to the term and see which one works better for you. So for example, if Sarita wants the no BS, which I know she likes those kind of readings, then Courtney will kind of see her cards, and she has Lenormand and things like that. Fortune telling cards do it. If you don't, then go for the tarot. Don't go for such a light color tarot. Go for more something, you know how every tarot artwork is different, so it wakens up your intuition differently. Go for a stronger one. If Courtney wants a more inspirational or the same thing, an OBS, then Sarita knows exactly what decks to go to. So I have been watching your readings and you guys are doing quite amazing. I have been very quiet this weekend. It was a rough weekend. My sister moved from Florida to Kansas City. She got here when? Tuesday. She got here last Tuesday. She got in her apartment on Wednesday. Had a miscarriage Saturday, early morning, around 3 in the morning. So I had to go. I mean, it's my sister, you know, we're different, but I literally had to be there for her. Then the long weekend kind of messed me up, and I thought today was Monday, which was Tuesday, so I overbooked my whole entire schedule because I was confused. And then everybody was home yesterday. That's why I couldn't do the class yesterday. Josh was off, the kids were home, and my sister shows up with her boyfriend, so it was just like, oh fuck. Sorry about that. It was just a very, you know, and then the hurricane back home. But you guys, I could tell you that they're extremely calm. My mom is extremely calm. My grandmother is just zen as crap, and they've kind of passed it to me, and I am quite very zen. I am worried though, because I have a lot of my friends are still over there, but Puerto Rico is the actual place that we always, hurricanes are like earthquakes to us. Like, it's kind of like, you know, we're in the middle of the Caribbean. So it's like kind of the media tends to play it off too much. And I remember I called my grandma yesterday. She's like, did you accidentally watch the news? Because I won't watch news. I don't know anything that's going on in the world. I will not watch the news. I will not read Google News. I will scroll through Facebook if I see news. That's why lately you will barely see me. I just go on Light Witch Tarot. I will not scroll or comment or anything because it's too much. But yesterday I made the mistake of looking, because I didn't even know that there was a hurricane coming. That's exactly how I live. I will not watch any of this because I already know myself, and I'm not going to put myself in a draining, depressive position if I know that the energy that I'm sensing is way too much. I've learned throughout the decades to, you know what, I can watch the news and freak myself out and drain myself to the point that I will probably have to cancel readings here and there, or I just go as it is, focus on the moment, and you know, I don't care what's gonna happen 5 minutes from now because I'm here. It took me decades, you guys. This is something I worked with my grandma when I was a teenager, because when I was a teenager I was soaking up energy and I was a worrywart. To this day, a lot of people say, oh, how do you do it? How do you stay calm? Blah, blah, blah. And it's not that. It's just that I try to focus right here. I'm sitting here right now. I don't know what's going on 2 states from here, and whether I know or not, I really can't do anything about it, right? So they're okay, they're fine, everyone's zen, everyone's love. I'm actually excited because the Mercury is over. So now that we've done the little chat brought to you by Iced Coffee, I'm gonna download the class, and I'm gonna send it to you guys. Lots of love and light to you guys, and blessed be. Bye bye.